Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, TheMadKaiger, and up here today, guys, is the next Halo review. And today we're going to be talking about Halo 5. I apologise I don't have a physical copy of Halo 5. I don't really have a lot of Xbox One physical games anymore, mainly because I mostly collect physical PS4 games. I don't really collect many physical Xbox One games anymore. I don't know, I just sort of gave up with Xbox One games. Maybe I'll pick it back up at some point in the future, but for me, Xbox One is more of a digital console that I tend to play most of my games digital, just because it's easier for me to play games digital on the Xbox One. PS4, I don't mind having physical games, but forget about that for a minute. So we're here to talk about Halo 5 Guardians. Now, you know in my previous video how I talked about Halo 4 and how much of a technical game that was, how technically astonishing it was for an Xbox 360 game. However, many people felt like Halo 4 really doomed the Halo series, pardon the pun, for the the foreseeable future. Now, when Halo 5 come out, I didn't actually go out and buy it day one, but I do remember when I did have it, it took a long time to download. I remember that. It was like a 90 gigabyte game. Now, the first thing I want to say about Halo 5 is that, straight off the bat, the game, well, it took away the biggest thing about Halo. It is no longer a game where, you have like one button for your grenades and a shoot button. No, it wasn't really. It was kind of a unique first-person shooter. Now, Halo 5, on the other hand, is not. For the Halo series, it went with the Call of Duty style to it. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you've played something like one of the more futuristic Call of Duty games, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Advanced Warfare, or Black Ops 3, or Infinite, or even like games like Titanfall, you're probably gonna enjoy Halo 5 because it has a very similar thing. They've added, the twin stick, the twin button shooter, one to shoot, one to aim. Aim down sights kind of thing. And in many people's eyes, that was what made Halo 5, what doomed Halo 5. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think Halo 5 is a bad game. I actually like it as a game. I think it's a really, really well done first-person shooter. However, because of this whole, aiming down sights, you have like a jump booster and a dash ability and a thruster, melee attack and stuff like that. It really does feel like, like a more modernized, futuristic shooter, like a Call of Duty or something. And in my opinion, I don't mind it as a game, but when you compare it to the older Halo games, you definitely see the difference is night and day. Now, the campaign, I'm going to be honest with you, I like the Halo 5 campaign, and how it works is it's split into sort of two separate teams, so it is 4-player co-op. Now, the biggest problem people had with Halo 5 was there was no split screen. It didn't really bother me that much because I played them online, so it wasn't a problem for me, but no split screen in Halo 5 was one of the biggest problems it had back in the day, because most people played Halo games co-op, couch co-op on split screen, and rightfully so. But Halo 5 didn't have any co-op, local co-op. And another thing that people were a bit pissed off about was how it works is you have two squads. You have the one squad of Spartans led by Spartan Locke, who is in the Halo Nightfall TV show, or the TV miniseries. And you also have Master Chief. And the whole story is basically, Master Chief's going to try and find Cortana and stuff like that. I won't spoil the story too much, but again, the Prometheans are back, and there's also Covenant in the game who are sort of loyal to the Prometheans and stuff like that. There are some returning characters in this game, like the Arbiter makes a return in this game. But how it works is you have 4 squads. You have a squad of 4, and if you're playing with 2 players, you basically can, before each mission, you can choose what character you want to play as. Now, each character in the game has a sort of a slight difference between them. So, for example, if you were playing as Tanaka, her abilities are she's faster than the other characters, so she can reload her guns faster, for example. You know, and if you were playing as Master Chief or Locke, you have the ability to mark enemies and give orders to your teammates and stuff like that. Now, if you're playing with 2 players, be aware that you can only be one person that does need to be the leader. And the biggest problem this whole 4-player co-op had was there was no matchmaking. It was only private co-op only. And I'm not bothered that much about that, but there were people out there that thought if you're going to have a 4-player co-op game that's meant to be most enjoyable as 4-player co-op, at least include some sort of matchmaking option, you know, or at least, you know, the ability to just jump in, quick play, do a couple of missions with some people online. And that didn't happen, unfortunately. It was only private co-op, which was, again, a lot of people say if you're playing co-op games, it's better to play it with people that you know or in a party. That makes sense, right? But it would have been nice to have the option to do both. And I personally don't really play 4-player co-op games. I don't have a party of 4 people. But if you guys are interested in forming a party or a posse again, let me know in the comments below. And I'll send you my gamer tag on PlayStation or PlayStation Network account, PSN account, whatever you want to call me, PlayStation account, identity. I don't know what you call it, but we can work something out in the future. But the campaign is enjoyable. It's not overly long. You can beat it in a day again, like with all Halo games. But it was nice they tried something a bit different, tried to make it into a squad game. And if you're playing solo, it doesn't really work that way. And how it works is kind of like, it does have 2 modes. It has the normal campaign, it has the arcade mode where you can respawn and stuff and go and get points. But it's kind of cool because if you get shot down, you sometimes you can be revived by your teammates. And sometimes when you have the AI teammates, sometimes they're really stupid. I'm going to be honest with you. There was countless times where me and my friend were down or something, and AI just stared at us, didn't revive us or anything. It's kind of annoying, but overall, I thought the campaign was pretty good. It's a good game. It was something different. Now, there was a couple of new multiplayer modes. They brought back Warzone and Firefight, which was the... so it was split into 2 multiplayer modes. There was Arena and Warzone. Arena is your usual Halo 5, your usual Halo multiplayer with all the different modes, like the social mode, like the Fiesta and your Slayer and your big team battles and stuff like that. And then there was the ranked modes. But Warzone was a kind of an interesting concept. How it works is it was split into the traditional Warzone mode, which was player versus environment. And then it also had 2 kinds of firefight, heroic and legendary firefight. But the firefight mode, I do like it. It's 5 waves, and there's normally like an objective sometimes. Like one objective might be protect a certain thing. And then or sometimes there's bosses that spawn, or elite versions of some enemies. And how it works is, basically it works by round based, and you get requisition points. Now you can use those requisition points to acquire new weapons, like maybe go to a thing, or use it to get boosts, like power boosts or armor boosts, or spawn in weapons or even vehicles. And how you get those are through loot boxes or requisition packs. Yeah, that is the problem. Here we are, loot boxes. Even though they're not called loot boxes, they're called requisition packs, but we still call them loot boxes, just for old time's sakes. Now, there is no really... I'm going to be honest with you. You do earn the points, usually, or you can pay real money. But I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the stuff that you get in Warzone loot boxes are either going to be like cards, so like your weapons cards, and you basically if you've got like a brute shot or something, or a brute plasma rifle, you know, you would get like 1 or 2 of them, or sometimes 5, and then every time you use that card in Warzone, it takes one away from you, how many you have stockpiled and so forth. And I do like that, actually. It's a pretty cool concept. And I'm going to be honest with you, there are so many varieties to each weapon. You know, some weapons have like maybe 2 or 3 versions of it, which are, you know, slightly different than the other ones. You have like legendary weapons, you know, you can get only in Warzone and stuff. And some of those legendary weapons do make appearances in the campaign. You just have to find them, which is pretty cool. And the same thing goes with vehicles and armor abilities. And how the customization worked in this game, it kind of brought back the Halo Reach customization, where you get armor one by one, but you only get armor, helmets, visors, different announcers and stuff like that, which is really cool that they brought that back. But again, it worked through the loot system, so the requisition pack system. So, you know, if you want that legendary skull helmet, you can't earn it through, you know, hours and hours of gameplay. You just got to hope that you get it in a box. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't mind loot systems in games as long as it doesn't take the piss and, you know, things are only exclusive. And because Warzone, all of these weapons, exclusive weapons, are only available in like a player versus environment mode, it kind of makes sense. I don't really do normal Warzone. I tend to normally do Warzone Firefight. So it's not that big of an issue to me. And the same thing with Arena. You don't get, if you get Arena packs, you can't get like cards for Arena. You only get like XP boosts and things like that, and helmets and visors and stuff. And I do like the customization. I'm going to be honest with you, Halo 5 does have a lot of unlockable and so many customizable options and so many cool variants of weapons. And building up your collection is really fun to do. But again, it works on a loot crate system, so it's not something you're going to be able to go, oh yeah, you know, put 60 hours into Halo 5 multiplayer and, you know, got everything. You're just going to have to get lucky and stuff like that. So, but I don't mind it because it is a fun game. And they also brought back Forge and custom modes, and Halo 5's Forge, in many people's eyes, is the best Halo Forge, which was, you know, the mode where you can make your own maps and modes. And there are some really cool modes in there, some crazy maps and some crazy modes. Some of the maps have even made it into the arena, the matchmaking modes, and you can even find sometimes you might get you know, like a special mode. There was one really cool mode which was like you're in like a maze and people are in mantises, which are like the mechs, and you have to try and run away from them. I really like that mode. It's pretty fun. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a pretty cool mode. So there is some creativity in there. However, the custom modes, I had a bit of an issue with trying to get into some of these custom modes. If you go into, you can make your own one and download the maps and make your own mode. But if you want to play with a friend, it's kind of annoying because you have to join. How it works, you can't just join the game and be in the game. Like, for example, in Overwatch or something like that. You have to join that particular fire team and then be thrown into the game. But if you're already in a fire team with your friend, you know, which is their in-game party, then you have to leave that particular party and then tell your friend, I'll go into this game or something like that. So it is a bit of a, I haven't done much of it, but it is pretty cool that they do have some custom modes and stuff in there. So I'm going to be honest with you, I think Halo 5 is a great game. As a whole, it is a great game, an enjoyable game, first-person shooter, pretty fast-paced. But as a Halo game, well, it just takes away a lot of the things that made Halo Halo. You know, I mean, fair enough. You know, Master Chief has done it all, so, you know, the whole idea was this game, you only play as Master Chief for a couple of times in the game. The whole idea was to try and make, you know, a new setting up Halo Infinite, basically. And I appreciate what they're trying to do with the series, trying to give it a fresh new vibe and stuff. But unfortunately, it just sort of went over people's head. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, there are still quite a few people playing Halo 5. You're never going to have problems finding a game unless your internet's a bit crap, but you'll always be able to find a game of Halo 5, and there are plenty of people playing it. It's still an enjoyable game, whether you're playing it single player or you're playing multiplayer. Again, customizations and stuff like that. I personally would give Halo 5 maybe like an 8 out of 10, which is higher than Halo 4. But as a game, I'd give it maybe an 8 out of 10. But as a Halo game, I'd probably give it like maybe a 7 or maybe a 6.5, which is pretty low because it just really took away what made Halo Halo. And I understand that it's a more modern game. You know, it would be like if, you know, people today, if you made like a Tenchu game, for example, you know, the closest thing to the Tenchu nowadays is Sekiro. And I know that game's like Dark Souls and stuff, but it still has a Tenchu vibe to it, I guess, like a ninja and things. But what I'm trying to say is that in today's day and age, when a video game comes out, whether or not it's part of an older series or not, they're going to try and make it more in tune for the modern audience. It's kind of like a game called Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I'm not hating on Rainbow Six Siege. I think that game is fantastic. But remember back in the day, Rainbow Six on the PlayStation 2, it was very tactical, you know, game, and you had to take corners. But when they made the new Rainbow Six game, instead of making it a single player squad-based game, they made it into a multiplayer squad game. So what I'm trying to say is they're trying to make it more in tune for modern audiences, and that's what Halo is doing now. They're trying to make it as modern as possible, trying to fit in with other first-person shooters, and I kind of think that's, some people can understand that. I understand as a company, you're trying to get your game out there. You want people to play it because they go, oh yeah, if I played Call of Duty, I'll enjoy this one. But for uniqueness, I think more people are trying to think about sales over the uniqueness. And as a company, that's understandable. But I just feel like too many games nowadays are just copying other games to try and fit in. And any uniqueness that that game had in the past it stays in the past, unfortunately, and it's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. But anyway, Halo 5 is a good game. It's worth checking out. If you've never played a Halo game, I'd recommend it because as a game, it's pretty fun. But it bears the name Halo, so you expect it to be something really interesting and really unique. And it just failed in that department, unfortunately. As a game, it's good. For Halo, well, you tell me. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to leave a like and, of course, comment below. Let me know what you think of Halo 5 Guardian. I will be doing Halo Wars 2 next. I don't have too much to say on it, so it might be a two-part video. I might do Halo Wars 2 and the Halo Master Chief Collection as one video. Maybe, I don't know yet. And then we finished the Halo games. I started playing Doom Eternal last night. I'm going to continue on tonight. So feel free to check me out on Instagram and Mixer at TheMadKaiger, and Twitter, of course, and subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, I will be continuing on with Doom Eternal, and when I do beat it, I will have my impressions and review video on Doom Eternal. So far, so good. It captures all of the things that made the last Doom game great, and I'm enjoying it. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, of course. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.